That was quite an incredible last minute drive by Lamar Jackson. The Ravens are here to stay. This was an exclamation point of a game, all the way down to the wire at Arrowhead. The Baltimore Ravens absolutely were closer than the AFC title game in January of 2024. The Baltimore Ravens, they had to try to get the ball back, but here they actually had a chance to bring it to overtime, and this was on the road. So I do like what I've seen from the Baltimore Ravens. The Kansas City Chiefs are a contender, but this is the AFC. This is the most competitive conference in the NFL. And the Kansas City Chiefs understand the competition that they have to deal with on a week to week basis. But I think Derrick Henry and I think the Baltimore Raven defense is here to stay. And I really like how the Baltimore Ravens they stayed till the very last play of the game. So I give the props to Lamar Jackson and the Ravens that they battled. I closed my stream uh, to the third quarter, but again, I like the Ravens to beat the Lions, and if these two teams face off in the playoffs again, I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens to attack on the ground in the fourth quarter with an advantage. They're used to facing off against Kansas City. They have faced off twice in the same calendar year of 2024. You get rid of the snap infractions in the first quarter. I think without the snap infractions, I think the Ravens show that this game could have been tied, whatever. It could have been down to how the football last, quite frankly. Um, I think the Ravens down by 10 points. They almost come back and force it to overtime. This is definitely positives. I can only, even though the Ravens lost, I see positives on the Ravens. I see positives on the Chiefs winning the football game. I see positives on the Ravens that this was Derrick Henry's first game. This is not his 10th game. This was not his 12th or 13th game. The Ravens, a few plays here and there, Ravens show that they're going to be a contender until the end. It's going to be a fantastic NFL season, and I would be curious to see how Cincinnati handles the Chiefs compared to the Ravens. But I feel great about the Ravens, especially after tonight. And I was never going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals this year. Um, and I do think the Bengals win it next year. I still like the Ravens. If the Ravens face off against the Chiefs, the Ravens are going to defeat Kansas City in the playoffs. I think this game they've handled better than the AFC title game. They've certainly gotten closer to beating Kansas City, and the AFC title was at home, and they struggled more. But they went on the road, and they're not being intimidated by crowd noise or any of that nature. If Baltimore faces off against Kansas City, they're going to upset the Kansas City Chiefs. Understand? They will. This is the ultimate way to honor Kamala Harris as a black woman, to see a real black man like Lamar Jackson defeat the quasi black man who the white supremacists purposely put in power because he has blue eyes and a three-quarters white daughter. This would be perfect. Everybody with a brain knew the Chiefs were going to win the football game. The spread was 3 points at one point, went down to 2.5 points. The public was on the Ravens. The public were on the Chiefs. It went down to 3.5. It went down to 2.5. the Donald Trump maggots were betting on the Ravens. The maggots took a big loss tonight. It was truly maggots who were betting on the Ravens. Taylor Swift. Oh my God, I hate Taylor Swift. I hate Travis Kelce. I hate the Kansas City Chiefs. Maggot took a big loss tonight. But maggots may lose on the election, but maggots are going to win on the future because whoever maggot wants is not going to be the Chiefs. Maggots are going to want 29 teams to win, 31 teams to win the Super Bowl. All maggots care about is that it's not Kansas City. The maggots are going to win on the football. The maggots are not going to win on the election, but the maggots are going to win on the football. So maggots are going to be like, ha, 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 Swift lose, ha, 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 ha. Regardless if it's the Bengals or regardless if it's the Ravens. But halfway there. It's a first 2 games of the year. We're halfway there. If the Chiefs start 2-0, the game is truly over. The Chiefs are not winning the Super Bowl. 100%. We are halfway there. The Chiefs start 1-0. Are they going to start 2-0? I'm not going to bet on the Chiefs-Ravens game. The Chiefs-Bengals game. I'm not going to bet on the Chiefs-Bengals game. For me, that is a litmus test. For me, it's a litmus test to show, okay, is it 100% the Chiefs are going to not win the Super Bowl? For me, there's no sense on betting on a Week 2 Bengals Chiefs game. I'd rather have a winning game on the Cardinals to beat the Rams. The Cardinals over the Rams is the lock of the afternoon cap for Week 2. The Chiefs-Bengals game is a litmus test to what the direction of the NFL season's going to be. Are the Chiefs going to win the game and everybody's going to be ready to crown and coronate Patrick Mahomes once again? If the Bengals win Week 2, then that is a moment where people start to doubt Patrick Mahomes. They may ride with Joe Burrow. So that's what the litmus test comes down to, is are we going to anoint Joe Burrow as the guy, the chosen guy to defeat? And what if the Bengals win Week 2? What if you're ready to anoint Joseph Burrow as the guy to beat Patrick Mahomes? But then what if it ends up being Lamar Jackson? That's certainly a possibility. So that's why that is a litmus test. There's no need to bet on that game. Just wait till January to bet on a Burrow-Lamar against Burrow and Mahomes. So that game is a litmus test. But the Cardinals at home with a son of a Hall of Famer, Marvin Harrison, who could catch his first NFL touchdown pass against the Rams instead of the Buffalo Bills. That game in the afternoon cap, I would take the Cardinals over the Rams. Now, I think my Cardinals have zero chance of beating the Buffalo Bills, but they certainly should beat a team with the aging quarterback and without Aaron Donald. But that game, if the Chiefs beat the Bengals, they ain't got no chance of winning the Super Bowl. We are halfway there. We are 9 days away to finding out where the direction of the season's going to be. And I'm looking forward to it. I hope the Chiefs win that game so it becomes obvious. If the Bengals win that game, then things start to become interesting. But now people are ready to say that Lamar Jackson is a running back, that he can't win the Super Bowl. And again, I still believe Lamar beating the Oakland Raiders is going to kind of have a tribute to Kamala Harris being born at Oakland. We have to pay attention to that angle. We have to pay attention to that. I've been speaking about that before the season when we've been breaking down the Baltimore Ravens. For me, it's Ravens over Lions or Bengals over Lions. For me, the Lions are going to play in the Super Bowl, but it comes down, and I acknowledge that there's a chance that the Ravens don't make it, but an all-cat Super Bowl makes a lot of sense for me. So again, when I get to the months of November and December, for me, 10K on Bengals over Lions, another 10K on Ravens over Lions. Whichever team comes from the AFC, boom! That's a winning combination. But that's a long time away. Time is still very relative. I have no intention of having the season go by in the blink of an eye. I'm going to enjoy every moment of this season. It's going to go by so slow. This season, 8 months without football, I intend on having the season go by so slow. Yeah, a lot of fun on the stream tonight, you understand? That's what it's about. Drinking through a whole bottle of wine. We having lots of fun. We make some money on the Kansas City Chiefs, and we not hating on them because we MAGA or whatever. We hate Taylor Swift, but we just stick with who the narrative is, who's going to win the football game. Put aside your hatred and bigotry and biases, and this is what it comes down to. So the winningest football team, the Packers, at the country of the winningest football nation, Brazil, with 6 World Cup victories, and the Packers with 13 World Championships. I like Packers. Again, and that aside, again, the Philadelphia Eagles have lots of new coaches, so it's going to take a time for the Philadelphia Eagles to get used to a new coaching staff. They have a new coaching staff. There's not going to be 100% continuity in the first week of the season, combined with the fact that you have to travel all the way down south to the southern hemisphere. So for me, the Packers, a team with momentum, battling through the end at the 49ers home stadium, a team that's won NFC. The Eagles, a team that finished 2-5 through the last stretch of the year. The Packers are riding the momentum. It's even. Both teams have new running backs. They find running backs, but for me, Josh Jacobs is a tougher dude. Saquon is more injury prone, but it's not decided on the running back matchup alone. They got to get used to a bunch of different systems over there in Philadelphia. They overhauled their coaching staff. The Packers are bringing back the same coaching staff. It's just let's leave off of what we're going off of through the entire 2023 season, and it makes easier for the Packers to click. And because the Eagles have a lot of new coaches, I think the Packers are going to have an easier time because the Eagles going to have to get used to different systems. So, again, I like the Packers to win the game. Now, it's going to be coincidental that the Chiefs and the Packers win the first 2 games of the year. The first time that we have a Thursday and a Friday game that the Chiefs and the Packers, the Super Bowl I matchup, ends up being the victors of the first year with a Thursday and a Friday game. But that's not going to be the Super Bowl. We are all 1-0 for the week because you follow Big Ball, Big Tone, Big T, T-Ball, whatever you want to call me. D'Antonio, that's what you want to call me. We got to get through this. Are we? And the football season started. I'm pumped up. I'm excited. We are ready for this. I want to hear the energy. We got the energy. We want to know through one game. We're going to get through every game of the year. Let's go every game. Every game. I want 2-0. I want 2-0 for the year. 2-0. 2-0. Perfect. Sweet that. Undefeated. Headed into football Sunday. This is what I want to see right here. Energy. I have energy to be a head coach. I bring it to the table 24/7. All gaps covered. All gaps are covered. This is the same level of energy we bring for the NBA playoffs coming up. Save the best for last. I mean business. over here. Having business over here. I'm saving the best for last over here. I should ignore the bullshit with the Cowboys last year. That should piss me the hell off. I should ignore whatever I theorized 7 years ago. I should ignore that Eagle bullshit of calling the winner 7 years in advance. Ignore that bullshit. Chiefs are not three-peating. Baltimore Lamar can't beat Patrick Mahomes. He can't beat Patrick Mahomes. He can't beat Patrick Mahomes. How many times have the Ravens rushed the ball tonight? They'd have 16 carries in the AFC title game. I did not analyze the stats. How many carries? It seems like Lamar threw the ball a lot. How many carries did the Ravens have? What the hell? Why does Lamar have more carries than Derrick Henry? Why? Oh, you gotta make Lamar with a superstar. Oh my God, you have Derrick Henry for a reason. Lamar, he had injured running backs. Gus, his first name was Gus, right? His first name was Gus. Then there's another guy. The Ravens, their running backs got injured a lot. Derrick Henry only has 13 carries. He needs 20 to 25 carries. That's the guy, Paul. Derrick Henry needs 20 to 25 carries. You have to wear down the Kansas City Chiefs front. That's how you beat them. You have to pay attention to how the Tennessee Titans use that guy. He does not tire. He is untied. It's only the first game of the season. You're going to experiment. It's only the first game of the year. You're going to get a feel to how much you want to use Derrick Henry through a whole course of an NFL season. So I think that's overreaction. They'll get a feel of how much they want to use Derrick Henry. Absolutely. I have no intention on betting on Bengals Chiefs. That is a litmus test again. Cardinals are playing around the same time in the afternoon cap next Sunday. I'm a Cardinals fan, but they're going to lose against Damar Hamlin, but they absolutely should beat the Rams. It'll be an end of a 9-game home losing streak. Cardinals going to beat the Rams. There's no Aaron Donald. It's Matthew Stafford is he's a couple years older from Super Bowl 56. And then the Falcons have Kirk Cousins. They had Desmond Ridder. He was supposed to be the backup quarterback to Kyler Murray, but this guy got cut by the Cardinals at training camp. This guy is no good. The Falcons have a real quarterback. And Arthur Smith was a white privileged dude who his family owned FedEx or something. This guy had privilege. He was not qualified for the job. The Atlanta Falcons have a guy, Raheem Morris. He's black. Raheem Morris, he's going to look good, I guarantee you. And Kirk Cousins is good. I think Raheem Morris should be better than Mike Zimmer because Mike Zimmer stuck with outdated schemes, and I think Raheem Morris is going to do better from that department. And he's in the easier division, Kirk Cousins, compared to the Lions and the Packers. So Kirk Cousins should absolutely win that division. I think he's better than Derek Carr. He is better than Derek Carr. He's made it to the divisional round of the playoffs. The biggest giveaway of that game, I think you mean the biggest takeaway from that game, is that the Ravens are a contender. The last play of the game with the chance to bring it to overtime, and it's week 1. It's not week 5 or week 6. It's not week 11 or week 12. The fact is the Ravens are here to stay. There's still a chance they lose against the Oakland Raiders. Because they're losers, because we needed Jim Harbaugh. What am I rating them beating? The team losers. Get out of here, man. My team suck. I'll never win a Super Bowl during my lifetime. I guarantee you that. I'm here to jinx my teams right now. I'm here to jinx them right now. Yeah, they're 9-5. They're 9-5. The Chiefs are 9-5 against the Ravens. They'd be 9-6 against the Ravens. Baltimore Ravens is 96 in reverse. I will screenshot that shit because we gonna hammer the 2-1, the 3-1, whatever. Hit it. Packers gonna win the game tomorrow. I like the Packers. Pele was number 10. Pele. Before Lionel Messi existed, Pele was God on earth. He was Pele, the greatest footballer ever. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't exist. Lionel Messi didn't exist. Pele was the God. He was the ultimate sacred footballer in the history of the world. He was number 10. Jordan Love is number 10. Pele, the number 10 for Brazil. Pele, the number 10. Jordan Love, the number 10. Brazil, we're green, Brazil. Packers, we're green like Brazil. The Packers have all of the symbology to win the game tomorrow. Hell yeah. Number 10, Pele. Number 10, Jordan Love. Jordan Love after the extension. Jordan Love and the Packers, they're going to be a competitive team for years. Absolutely. Nick Sirianni's a joke. This guy carries himself like a high school guy on the sidelines, like Matt LaFleur. He wasn't some Aaron Rodgers puppet. This guy can coach. He led Jordan Love. They were competitive against 49ers. Matt LaFleur can coach. That's what we learned from the Packers last year, is that Matt LaFleur is a real coach. That's what we learned from the Packers last year. And they have Josh Jacobs. They've got better from the running back position. I think the Packers have had running back injuries too, like injuries like the Ravens have from the running back position. So the running back position has been a very pivotal position from free agency. We've seen the Ravens try to get that all-purpose Frank Gore running back, that Adrian Peterson, that Frank Gore, that Edgerrin James. We've seen the same thing from the Baltimore Ravens, the Green Bay Packers. Saquon, I think, gets hurt. The Giants have a bad line, but let's see how Saquon does through the first game of the year. I trust Josh Jacobs more, not because I'm a Raider fan, but I think Josh Jacobs fits the Raiders' smash mouth football. I think Raiders had a smash mouth formation. The Raiders had real smash mouth formation back at the days of Tom Cable. They would try to bully teams, be a Raider. Bully teams, baby. Bully teams to be the Raiders. When you get back to Tom Cable in 2011, but this team is directionless. They hired a fag with a golf visor. His little golf hat, McDaniels, he sucked. The Packers are the underdog. I hope to be the best. I'm not close to being the best. I hope to be the best, but I do acknowledge that it is facts. I did predict the Chiefs to win every playoff game that they played in during the last 2 years. Even if I don't get it before the season, at least I know that, hey, Chiefs are absolutely going to beat the Eagles a couple years ago, that the Chiefs are going to beat the 49ers. So, I do deserve my props. I do. I like to keep open perspective. For me, it's either Ravens over Lions or Bengals over Lions. For me, it's just you got to reverse. You got to flip the two teams. If it's not Ravens this year, Bengals next year, it's Bengals this year, Ravens next year. I think you got to flip the teams around. If my first hypothesis does not be exact, but at least the Lions lose the Super Bowl, and we have two possible winners in exacta over the Lions, is the optimism that I bring to the equation. But it is a strong storyline for Burrow to win at the Louisiana Superdome. But then I look at Joe Burrow's 60 touchdowns in his record-breaking touchdown season of 60 touchdowns in his last year with LSU. Could be Super Bowl 60. State of Ohio's last pro championship outside of the soccer Columbus Crew came at Oakland against the Warriors. Goalkeeper LeBron James in the cab. Does Ohio win again at the Bay Area? Bengals at the 49ers Stadium. That is what we have to pay attention to. Kamala Harris, Black Panther, Huey P. Newton, Cam Newton, Super Bowl 58. Kamala Harris, born at Oakland, is Lamar next year. So we're here to test the hypotheses once just December and January comes along. I drank the whole bottle of wine. I was not intending to, but I feel great and I should knock out 4 to 8 miles. I drank most of the bottle during the first half, so it's kind of worn off during the second half. I thought the game was not going to be close because the Chiefs were up by 10 points at the end of the stream, but I'm glad I was wrong. I was glad it ended up being a good game at the end. I'm glad it came down to the last play. This is what you want from an opening game of the season. A favorite won the game. The Chiefs were the favorite. They won the game. We maybe got to see an underdog win. A favorite and an underdog. A favorite and an underdog. The Packers are the underdog. The Chiefs are the favorite. See a favorite win. See an underdog win. Balance it out before NFL Sunday. But Damar Hamlin is starting for the Buffalo Bills. There's no chance Damar Hamlin and Buffalo are losing. Damar is going to be a winner. Damar is going to make some big plays. So don't get me started with the Cardinals upsetting the Bills. Don't get me started with that. We losing opening week. Don't get me started. We not beating the Bills, but we beating the ass of the Rams. Absolutely. We not beating Buffalo. We are losing the first week. I have zero expectation for the Cardinals to win opening week. But then this Joshua guy who thinks Panthers going to win every week. I don't understand these people. I am so past these days. These days were 10, 11, 15 years ago. Jets will be the last team on a big-ass parlay. I'm going primetime, Deion Sanders. I like Georgia Tech. I think the Bengals should be automatic. Who gets a big tiebreaker? Who gets the 2-0? Georgia Tech, they got the momentum. I think their quarterback is better than Syracuse. With or without the point spread, Texas should be able to win the football game. That is automatic over Michigan. Michigan had to struggle against Fresno State a little bit. I don't think Fresno State are exceptional by any means of the imagination. There are not really any big football games until the conference play begins for college football. Notre Dame don't have any other big non-conference games during that time. And Brian Kelly loses against Texas A&M after Notre Dame beat Texas A&M. Please have LSU lose against Texas A&M. Now, Notre Dame don't have a chance of beating, as much as I would love to see Notre Dame win a national championship. They're not beating Georgia. They're not beating Alabama. They're not beating Texas. So as much as I would love to see Notre Dame win, they're not going to be national champions this year. I certainly hope to see Notre Dame win a national championship in the next 10 years. Would be an absolutely amazing accomplishment given their rigorous academic requirements. whoever wins Notre Dame the next national championship would be legendary. So Notre Dame and LSU, the yearly battle, who wins the first national championship since Brian Kelly left. This is going to be something very juicy. LSU can struggle all they want. Notre Dame can struggle all they want in the new 12-team format. The bragging rights is going to come with who wins the first national championship between the two schools, Notre Dame and Brian Kelly. So this is going to be a yearly occurrence between Notre Dame and LSU. But I like Texas to take it this year. Will their quarterback get hurt for Archibald Manning the third to take the start? That's interesting. That is something we have to see is going to happen or not. Pretty much, Archibald is only going to play if their quarterback Owens in front gets injured. I don't know who the betting trends are for college football, but for me, I think Texas is going to make a statement the first year in the SEC. But we'll have to see. I had Michigan win the college football playoff last year. We'll have to see exactly where the teams are going to be by the end of December, their whole body of work, all that fine stuff. But a win over Michigan at the Big House would be a bonus for Texas because it's at the Big House or the defending national championship, with or without Jim Harbaugh, with or without J.J. McCarthy. There's no J.J. McCarthy. There's no Jim Harbaugh. So absolutely Texas should win. And the recruitment coming with the SEC is going to be a big factor that's going to help Texas this year. But hopefully the new college football format, the transfer portal, I hope the transfer portal is going to make college football exciting again. That any school can get the best players with or without the SEC is going to bring college football back to the masses. If the best guys want to play for USC or Texas or Ohio State instead of the SEC, then that's who they're going to play for. So it's not just we assume the SEC is going to win every single season. This is the best possible thing to happen for college football. Is the transfer portal means the SEC has to compete with other schools to get the best talent. The SEC is not going to like that. Nick Saban certainly didn't like that. This is why Nick Saban retired. But parity is what the fans like. We don't get sick and tired of seeing the SEC win every year. We get to see different schools getting the best talent. That's what's going to have a comeback for college football, on top of having a 12-team format. Not the best possible scenario for bettors, but as far as being an exciting product, that's what's going to make college football exciting again. I think the transfer portal means that kids from the SEC, they can choose to play for USC, Texas, Ohio State. They don't just settle for the region. This is what college football means. What made me change my mind was the fact that Joe Montana's number 19 for Kansas City was the first repeat in 19 years. He beat Joe Montana's first team. That was pretty easy. Plus Mark Davis, the owner of Allegiant Stadium. Davis is Gamache 19. It's not exciting when the SEC wins every year. A lot of people were going sick and tired of college football in the SEC. The changes that happened since COVID is going to rejuvenate college football. It hasn't been exciting to see Alabama win every year. People are just like, Alabama's going to win. Alabama's going to win. Michigan winning last year changes it. Nick Saban retiring, he understands the changing dynamics of college football. Exactly, EPAC. You make a great point. Number 3 catches a game-winning touchdown. They're going for 3 championships next year. The team that passed on Patrick Mahomes loses 2 Super Bowls against it was never, ever going to be the 49ers. Plus, Kyle's Gamachia 53. 5th quarterback to win at least 3 Super Bowls. The 49ers fought at 5-3 in the Super Bowl, so I knew they would lose. People on my stream, 49ers, the Chiefs are losing by 10 points, whatever. It didn't matter. The only thing that matters is after the final whistle, after the final play. And the Chiefs won the game. But this is the NFL. I am listening to Tom Brady. Everything didn't come easy for Tom Brady. He went 10 years without a Super Bowl. So Tom Brady understands the struggle. He didn't win. He didn't make it to multiple Super Bowls with the Buccaneers. Tom Brady only won 1 Super Bowl in 3 years with the Bucs. It was a struggle. Well, I'll wait a little bit. I'll wait till I get the 6 figs, whatever, on the cash. Well, people would be breaking out in fistfights if they actually did have wagers on the election in Las Vegas. So the only way you can bet on the election is through an offshore entity. So there's no bets with the election, but I get kudos for predicting Trump to lose back-to-back elections and being right on Ivanka and being right on 2032. So I am a political guru, and everybody in Gamacho land seems, I have no clue why, but they're predicting Trump to win. Last election, they're predicting him to win again. They got to stop predicting politics. They'll ride my ass for 2028, but let's get down to November the 5th first before I get to the point where they're going to start to ride my ass on 2028 because, I'm going with the Republican Party to win an election. Donald Trump's been a disaster. He didn't attempt insurrectionist. He downplayed the pandemic. He tax breaks for the wealthy. He wants to strip women of their reproductive rights. The rights from getting reproductive health care. My cousin is having struggles with fertility. She's 33, 34 years of age in New Jersey. She would certainly benefit from having good reproductive health care to have that reproductive health care needed to have a child at early mid-30s. So it's not just about aborting a baby, but it is really about reproductive health care too for women out there. The winningest team in NFL history is going to win at the country of the winningest football team in the history of the World Cup. Packers wear green like Brazil. So Packers. Eagles have too many new coaches. That's what I said at the beginning of the stream. I'm not going to repeat myself again. But they had a whole bottle. I wasn't very excited for the game tonight. Let's get down to business. Get down to business right here. No, they're not. Get your head out of your asshole. They're not beating the Bills. I guarantee you they're not beating the Bills. Stop getting hysterical. Damar Hamlin's making his first start. He's going to win. He's going to win. Oh, they're talking about Damar Hamlin. He's playing great. He's going to beat Tua. He's going to beat the Dolphins on Thursday. Can you imagine all the talk with Damar Hamlin? Comeback player of the year. Oh, you ain't got no chance of winning game 1. This pretty much tells me the Cardinals are being 2-0. You're really telling me the Cardinals are being 2-0? There ain't no chance of that happening. Our first-round draft pick, defensive tackle, he's on the injured reserve list. He cannot practice until week 5. This is going to help the Bills' running game. Christian Jones is on the injured reserve offensive tackle. He can't practice until after 5 weeks. The Cardinals have got some big injuries on the offensive line and the defensive line. The Buffalo Bills are going to win. You're not the first person to say the Cardinals going to upset, but I am a fan of the Arizona Cardinals, but I have zero expectation to win week 1. It ain't happening. But with that being said, go place your little bet on the Cardinals and lose on this sorry-ass motherfucking team. Don't bet on the Bengals-Chiefs game. Bet on the Cardinals and beat the Rams in week 2. Oh, my, he sucks. He didn't do shit during training camp. He was garbage for the Falcons. This is why the Falcons got rid of him. He's garbage. He's not better than Kyler Murray. Kyler is more better than him. My uncle, God bless him, he been living on this world for close to 60, 70 years. He's been a fan since the team were in St. Louis. We have all witnessed the Cardinals win the NFC Championship live in person with binoculars. A stadium full of towels. So noisy. The roof, the Eagles, the Cardinals. The Eagles jump ahead. The Cardinals jump ahead in the fourth quarter. Euphoria, everything. People crying in the stands. All this good stuff. But there's no chance the Bills are beating the Cardinals. There's no chance. Even if the Cardinals lose against the Bills, they're beating the Rams. The Rams have no business beating the Lions. It's a whole new year. The Cowboys don't make the playoffs. The Rams don't make the playoffs. We see new teams in the playoffs. The Cardinals should be a stronger team than the Chicago Bears. Cardinals should be a playoff team. They won't get anywhere near the NFC Championship game. They don't have to worry about that. But the Cardinals are a new team that can make the playoffs. The Eagles, the NFC East, they won't become consecutive winners in the NFC East. I see the Lions. I am all in on the Lions. I hope it's the Cardinals. But it's going to be the Lions to win NFC because it's all Dan Talica, Thunder Dan, all that, Jared Goff, and an MVP candidate, all this good stuff. It's going to be the Lions. Well, Kirk Cousins good. He's good. Understand? Maybe the Falcons win a playoff game. I can see it. But Lions are going to win the NFC. Dan Campbell, assistant coach of the Saints at the Superdome. He makes it to the Superdome. Anyway, let me come back here after tomorrow night, after the game, 2-0, whatever, break down some games, I think, would be the most opportune time. 16 years after 2008 season, 2024, Jared Goff, number 16, all the symbolism is there for the Lions to make a run to make it to the Super Bowl. Now, this doesn't mean the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl, but that they should win the NFC and play in the Super Bowl 16 years after going 0-16. After the way they lost against the Niners, this is what they want you to say, but then that's Detroit. They respond even better after setbacks with the recession and all that. So they're used to taking stab wounds in Detroit, and that is not going to be anything that's going to set them back. It's only going to make them stronger. The lion, the king of the jungle, they should be able to make it to the Super Bowl. But people get emotional, and people will bet on the Lions, on whoever they're playing against. But it ain't happening. The Lions will lose the Super Bowl. It'll end the same way as the Cardinals back in 2008, the same year the Lions went 0-16. The Cardinals had heartbreak against the Steelers. I remember the game like it's yesterday. The same outcome's going to happen against the Lions. They're going to choke it the final drive of the game like the Cardinals did.